Footbags, my dudes. Footbags.
What made you forget that I was
Footbags.
Footbags, live and direct in the place to be. That is this Cold Rhymes Twitch.tv, Cold Rhymes Records. Twitch. Let's get there. Yeah. I don't know why. Sometimes I need to like kickstart my microphone. Sometimes I don't. What in an inexpensive 5-channel mixer would cause that to happen? If there was some dirt somewhere, so when like you fire it up and the signal's going through, the electrons just run into some bumpers until you twist a knob. Maybe it's the extra little boost of gain. I don't know. All I know is that it sounds quieter until I wiggle the gain knob, but I don't see it's almost like there's some spots where it doesn't work. It probably just needs a clean. Hi everybody. Aside from all that nonsense, my name is Footbags, and this is Footbags Live from the Depths. If you've never been to Footbags Live from the Depths before, welcome to Footbags Live from the Depths. Here in the depths, not only am I Footbags, but we will be making some beats. We will be chopping some chops and looping some loops and taking some noises from noisemakers and things and layering some of them together. See where we end up by the end of the evening. I hope everybody is doing absolutely rad. Exceptionally rad, next level rad, and or top notch rad. Yeah. Let's try and take no, that's stupid. I was about to say let's be adventurous and maybe go to we might do that later on. Go to maybe a noisemaker we don't normally use as often here on these depth sessions. But first things last. We got to make sure the dog barks are in effect. Dog, D sharp. That is a dog. We can proceed. Here on Footbags Live from the Depths, if the dog barks aren't in the house, neither are we. I would just roll over and turn the stream off. That would be the end of it right there. The dog barks are the glue that keep it all together. And over here is a turntable and a CD player turntable for getting noises off of those type of media. Let's go to our folder of 10,000 classic breaks. How many tracks in total? We got 100 tracks in total. Each one has between 2 and 5 break beats. Here's one right now. Dust Brothers sampled this one off on Beastie Boys, Paul's Boutique. This was sampled classically by Dr. Dre for Eminem. Classically. You heard it before. You know it. You're like, why do I know that? Because they are classic breaks. I'm not the like next level breakhead where I know all of the like titles and like original artists and all that stuff. I know some. I can spot Impeach the President a mile away. And Amen Brother, etc. But most of the time, I know the song it was sampled on. The song that sampled it. That might be an incredibly janky. Or did it work? No, there's a pause. That sounded better. Let's see. It's not great. I don't even know if we're going to use this drum break. It just, happened to be the one I landed on. Let's just see if we can add a bit of spice to it and see if it's something we want to continue on with, or if we should find another classic drum break. Let's see how that ended up. Let's turn that distortion back on my voice.
Because that was pretty rad. Let's turn that tone up. Let's turn that turn that level down, turn that drive up. Turn the level down, turn the drive up, turn it up. Turn that part up. Make the tone a little more crunchy. Make it nice so I can have emotions. And those footbags. That's right. I got overdrive on my voice so it sounds fucked up. But that's how I like it, you know? My dog barks. My dog barks. Holy crap. Turn it down a bit, dog. Holy That's what's up. That's what's up.
Footbags.
Okay. So far, we have distorted drum break, and now we have lasers. Start with distorted drum break. Worked our way up to lasers. Okay, now stop that. So we can spin in the chair. Go back over here. Actually, before we do that, let me clear my stack of CDs. Clear my stack of CDs. We're just gonna see if the turntable's working. Let's choose. Oh, I'm completely off screen. This is what we're diving into real quick. If distorted drum break and lasers need anything, it's CHFI 98.1 FM, I assume. Candlelight and Wine album. You got your Paul Anka. You got your Neil Sedaka. You got your Engelbert Humperdinck. And the list goes on. We're going to see what kind of juxtaposition to lasers we can find. This is a musty album. I don't think that's dust. That might be mold. Gross. Record one, side two, B-side wins. We're in effect.
The sun don't shine. Let me take
Do some fine pitch correction to avoid these copyright scrubbers. Also grab some snippets with the SK5. Pause for the cause. Because so far we've got lasers. So far we've got a drum break, heavily distorted. Now, I'm hoping to find some sort of. I want to just take a random, like, needle drop from that same track on the LP, and just filter it down to all the low end. See if we can get some sort of snotty, grimy bass tones. Sorry, I just saw an amazing photoshopped picture of myself. It's the if you go to the Bag Money Facebook page to witness it in all its glory, because it's pretty great. It's pretty great. What was I saying? That really distracted me because that was awesome. I was saying something about finding a bass line. Finding some sort, not even necessarily a bass line, a bass noise. A bass type element. Some sounds that are subsonic. Let's try and do that. Whether we sample it into the SK5, I mean, we already have. Yeah, let's not do that. Just for the sake of giving everything some semblance of its own sonic space, we already have a track sampled from the SK5. This one, right here. So if I try and incorporate a bass track within that same kind of very limited bandwidth, it's not going to stand out as much. It's not going to be as interesting sounding to your dang ear holes. Therefore, we'll sample it onto something else. Speaking of, before we do anything else, what song are we even on here? The Last Time. Oh, and it's our mans Johnny Mathis and Jane Olivor. Killing. So, see you later, high end. See you later, mid range. Hello, low end. Guy's voice is doing the trick just as well as the actual bass on the album. You know what? We've got the technology here. We can just sample it. We can sample it into the Chaos pad on one of its A, B, C, or D. What I'm going to do is grab a couple of these. You just won't be able to hear me because I'm also filtering what's going into the SP404. Okay. We've got a couple samples. Let's bring the beat back in and see how they do or don't fit. can identify what's playing on the wall behind me, you get 5 points. That ain't no joke. 5 points. Now this week, turn some of these down. This week, I was thinking beforehand how it's still October. It's spooky season. Okay, no, we're good. It's spooky season. And last week, at the start of the show, I was all like, maybe we'll make some spooky beats. And we didn't end up making spooky beats at all. So this week, I didn't say anything just in case. And look what happened. We're like halfway new wave. Halfway new wave. Thanks to our good buddies, Casio, SK5, and CHFI 98.1, the Candlelight and Wine album. How could you possibly lose? Got these yo's in the dancing shoes. Dancing shoes. Now, there's one thing. I'm going to pause for the cause right about now. There's one thing I really wish this RC505 could do. Maybe it can. I don't think I've looked in the manual. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it can do this. Maybe the Mark II can. That would be a smart move on Boss's part. But I wish I could basically bounce tracks down. Because what I'd like to do is one of the workarounds is I can basically copy this, it saves each I don't know what you want to call it, patch or something, as the 5 banks of loops. So I could straight up just copy all of this to the next slot and erase what I want to erase, keep what I want to keep, all that kind of stuff. But what I would like to do is copy these to the next track, have this drum break remain as is on track number 1 for simplicity's sake, and then take these other 4 tracks and bounce them down to like 1. Like take all these elements, put them onto one track on the next slot, and then I have 3 more empty ones. That's what I would like to do today, but I don't think I can. I don't think that's something I can do, and that's all right. I was just thinking about it. Like I said, I've got options. I've got these copy and paste, so I could copy this. Because right now, these track number 4 and 5 are just these laser noises. That's just it playing forwards. And this one, I need to go and check. When I was recording this one, it seemed like it wasn't 1 measure of the loop. It wasn't 3 measures of the loop. No, it was 24. It recorded 24 bars, basically, of this original two measure drum break. So it just kind of kept going and going and going. So one option I do have is, if I want a track that makes a noise just every once in a blue moon, I will put that on track number 5 with the backwards lasers. And how many? I mean, it'll come around once every 48 times because it's 24 measures of a 2-bar loop. So once every 48 bars, you could have one noise play. And not, this isn't some like Euro rack randomizer, just tell it some parameters and have it play a sound, whenever. This will come back in the same 48th bar every time, like clockwork. So we can do that. That's the option. Yo, what up? What is up, Scott? We are, in fact, we've stumbled our way into math jazz somehow, but I don't feel bad about it in the least. Now we got to decide what kind of noise do we want to play once every 48 bars. Should it be a vocal stab? Should it be like a sound effect? Should it be some kind of cartoonish boing or even a Flavor Flavish boing?
Boing.
Something of the sort. We could have just like a little drum, like drum fill once every 48 bars only. In fact, we could have a lot of different things peppered throughout this 48 bar repetition. So the world is our oyster at the moment, and I think our oyster shucker is sitting behind us. Drum Phil. Just take that UM out and you got yourself Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil, the drum fill master. What he lacks in hair on the top of his head, he makes up for in drum fills. Completely untrue. Completely. Well, I guess if we're going to put in a drum fill, before we just start looping away again, let's find one. God, I'm forever stuck in this loop. Here we go. Looking for a drum fill. Oh, shit. Did I just talk over top of one that was weirdly off time? Talking about it's fading out while it's playing this math jazz drum fill. Let's keep looking. What else do you got? Give me your drum fill. The rest of that track is empty. I don't even think I'm on the folder I was on before. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but here we go. Beautiful. Just that right there. Once every 48 bars. Here we go. And to top it all off, no, I was going to say let's just throw it in randomly without listening to the beat, but that could have disastrous results. Let's at least play this along with. Let's wait a while because we don't know where it's going to come in the 48 bars. I suppose we should make it in time. While we're waiting, we should do that. This is some old jazz. We went back to the turntable and it worked. Well, right now that drum break's on the MP3, but we got check this out. Our melodic samples, and our bass line for that matter. Straight off of this masterpiece right here. When you need to slow dance on the pier with an old-timey RCA Victrola but clearly from the skyline behind, the technology is available to probably have a Bluetooth speaker. You put on this record. You just do it. You just do it. All right, let's time our drum, Dr. Phil. Pretty close. Still a little fast. Just to slow it down. Close enough for math jazz. Math jazz is the name of the game. All right, 48 bars later, that will play again. While we're waiting for it to come back, let's find something else to throw in.
Make it roll, Fit.
We must take the boat.
There it was. It just went by. Did you hear it?
We must take the boat. We must take the boat. We must take the boat. We must take the boat.
Put some spice on it. Uh-oh. Phew. Thought I was in a little bit of chord spaghetti for a second there. Chord spaghetti.
We must take the boat. We must take the boat. We must take the boat.
Oh, damn. I got them both at the same time. What are the odds? 1 in 48.
Footbags.
We must take the boat. We must take the boat. We must take the boat. We must take the boat.
Footbags.
Very ill.
0. There was the drum fill.
We must take the boat. We must take the boat.
Peppered with noises. Peppered with sounds.
We must take the boat.
Everybody hop in. There's not a lot of room. Sit on somebody's lap. It'll be fine. It's a pretty good boat. It's pretty good. Where's that drum fill again? Pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat.
Everybody hop in. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It ain't gonna sink. What do you think? It's not gonna sink. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. Ah, jazz. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a boat. It's a pretty good boat. Yes, we must. This is a pretty good boat. It's pretty good. It's not the best boat, but it's okay. It'll get you there. It's a pretty good boat. Pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. Pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. Snakes. It's a pretty good boat. It's pretty good. It's not the best boat. That's okay. It's a pretty good boat. That's okay. It's a pretty good boat. That's okay. It's not the best boat. And that's okay. It's a pretty good boat. There's not a lot of room. It's a pretty good boat. Pretty good boat. Yes. Listen to that guy. We must take the boat. We must take the boat. Back jazz.
It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's pretty good. It's not the greatest. But it'll do. It'll do fine. Pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. Snake. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat.
Bath chair.
It's a pretty good boat.
Bath chairs. Bath chair.
Snake. It's a pretty good boat. Snake. 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 It's a pretty good boat. 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 It's a pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat. Pretty good. It'll stay afloat. Don't worry. Pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat.
Do you want to know the terrifying truth? Bath chairs. Break it down.
It's a pretty good boat.
take it back to the start. Wait, okay, that's the delay that's still on right there. It's a pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat. So we started with a very distorted drum break. Which also has a little bit of, I just, turn the delay on for a second here and there. You can hear it. That's where we started. And I think we went directly from drum break to laser noises. These ones, which is coming from the Micro Granny. I've since switched the samples. It's not on that button anymore. It was just kind of a grindy tone, synth tone, and I ran it through a slicer and some spices. You spice it up. You put some. You don't want to eat plain ham. You spice your ham up. Spice up your ham. That got us to lasers, and that also got us to our 48 track. This one's actually backwards. Same thing but backwards.
We must take the boat.
And this is where we've since sprinkled our other noises.
Snakes.
There's me saying snakes, sampled on the Casio SK5.
Snakes.
There it is again, louder, so you can hear that I'm saying snakes. There's the drum fill. That was the first one. Dr. Phil is in the building. Snakes. Little flute sample. Because why not? Anyways, you get the idea. The laser noises. And in between laying down the laser noises and all the random stuff that is now accompanying the laser noises, we dove over to the turntable, to this amazing, what is it, Dinner and Wine? Candlelight and Wine album. If you need candlelight and or wine or both, check out this hot collection of bumps. I say that loosely. But we spent about, I kind of want to go back and watch the rerun because I don't even think we listened to more than, 20 seconds before I just grabbed something real quick and put it into the SK5, to which we got this. Including ham spices, etc. Delays. It's clearly distorting in parts, but hey, when you're in the depths, that's the kind of stuff we like. So that was our melodic section. And then I went back to that same track, same tempo, so it would be in the same key. Basically ran the record from a random point again, filtering out everything but this sub bass. We got this what I like to call a bass track. It's not really, but it's serving that purpose today. Now, other accoutrements we've gathered along the way, sampled into the Chaos pad, is this little high-pitched sound. Not the funnest thing to listen to on its own, but sprinkle it over top of a very mid-rangey beat, and it makes it sound slightly less only mid-rangey. We also have me saying math jazz.
Math jazz.
There it is. That's at the ready, 24/7, 365. All I have to do is press button D.
Math jazz.
We got math jazz. And what did I put over here?
Snakes.
That's the one that says snakes. Oh, yeah, it's a pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat. And that brings us to now. I think that's all the stuff we'd added to the mix in that order, more or less. And then I've just been kind of messing around with all of them,
Math jazz.
especially the math jazz. Because math jazz. Oh, these guys, those guys better watch out. You can't tell what that is, but there's some guys down there. They're in trouble. Those guys are in trouble. Those guys right there, they're in trouble. But these guys, these guys, they're on their way to help. Don't worry, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. I've seen it before. Math jazz. I don't know how that got in there. Click, 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 click. But it did, and it's staying. There it is again. Click, 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 click. Snakes.
It's a pretty good boat. 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 Snake. It's a pretty good boat. 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 It's a pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat. Math jazz. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat.
good boat. It's a pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. Yo. It's staying. I like when you cut clips, Scott, because I never know what they are until I watch them later. Then I'm like, whoa. That was a dope clip. Blaze. Suckers. Full effect. Footbags. We must take the boat.
We must take the boat. It's a pretty good boat. Luckily, it's a pretty good boat. Luckily, it's a pretty good boat. Pretty good. It's not great. It's a pretty good boat. Not great.
It's a pretty good boat.
It's okay.
It's a pretty good boat.
There's not a lot of road,
It's a pretty good boat.
but it's alright. It's alright. It's okay.
It's a pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat. Sometimes the motor doesn't work. You gotta use the oars. No big deal. It's why my arms still work. Not only do they work, they bend back. That's why I wear this hoodie. It's a pretty good boat. It's pretty good. It's not great. How are your guys' boats? Are they seaworthy? Are they seaworthy? Can they sail on the sea? Could they paddle down the river? Uh-oh. No, it's still there. Sweet!
It's a pretty good boat.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good boat. Boat.
It's a pretty good boat.
It's pretty good. I've seen better boats. But this one's okay. Pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat.
Snake.
It's a pretty good boat.
Bath jazz.
It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat.
See? It's a pretty good boat. Nice. I imagine Joey Shithead would make a fantastic city council member. I bet he would drive a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It'll do the job just fine. It'll do the job. It's a pretty good boat. Don't worry about the boat. Worry about yourself. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. Pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. I'm very okay with the boat. 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 Boat.
Snake, snake. Oh. Oh. Oh, oh. 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 Oh.
Bath jazz.
Oh. 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 It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. Nate, 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 it's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat. Snakes.
floating boat is better than a not floating boat. Every boat. What is it? Every submarine is a boat, but every boat is not a submarine. Something like that. No. What's the difference between a boat and a submarine? They can all go underwater. Only a submarine can come back up. Fluid dynamics. Jet propulsion systems. Valves and stuff. It's a pretty good boat. I would vote for moats. More moats. They've got my vote. How is your boat? How is your boat? How is your boat? How is it? How is your boat? How is it doing? Is it at dry dock? Is it not boating season? Does it need a bit of repairs? Sometimes you need to repair your boat. No joke. Keep your boats tip-top so they do not sink. Do not sink. Float that boat. How is your boat? How is your boat doing? Is it under a tree up by the cottage? Is it being towed behind a Ford F-150? I would like to know. Snakes.
It's a pretty good boat.
It's a pretty good boat.
We must take the boat.
Bath jazz.
It's a pretty good boat. It's pretty good. It's not the greatest, but it'll do just fine for now. While I'm on this lake, catching this fish with this fishing rod with a big worm.
Boing.
Worm. So anyways, I don't know. Here, let me turn this the hell off. Jeez Louise. Okay, let me turn that off. Jeez Louise. Let me turn that off too. Wow. Holy Holy smokes. Okay, so, yeah. My name is Footbags. We're down to half volume right about now. And that can only mean one thing. It means it's time where we go down to half volume. So we're going to start wrapping it up. That turned out that turned out okay. It's a pretty good boat. It turned out to be a pretty good boat in the end. Yeah, once again, in the month of October, it didn't even end up being a spooky beat or a lurky beat or anything seasonally appropriate. It basically we started. Was it halfway new wave, and we just kind of stayed there with lasers and other sprankles. But we just stayed there. And then it ended up being about how your boat is doing. Plenty of time, absolutely plenty of time. Maybe that'll happen next week. Maybe I'll make a point of like lining up some legit spooky things to sample from for next week as we get closer and closer to the spookiest day of the year, Hallow Spook Week, where you do all your tricking and treating. Scaring the crap out of people. Things that are coming up. What's today? Today is the 16th, which means this week, on Tuesday, on this Cold Rhymes Twitch, you got this Zinzerna Music Hour with PT Burner. And then later on this week, on Thursday, you're going to be having this listening party for this new Artemis album, Psychedelic City Cowboy Shit, which is coming out on Friday the 21st. So stay absolutely peeled for that. Be prepared. Frankie McDonald would advise you to be prepared for that. Set your recording or set your alarm so that you can catch it live. Listen to the whole record the night before it drops. It's gonna be rad. I'm gonna be there, and I believe that's the big thing. That's the big thing coming up this week, because my name is Footbags, and I'll be back next Sunday. So that's what's happening in between now and then. Because it's a pretty good boat. This whole week is basically a good boat. Do I have a costume for this year? Not yet. There are several costumes I can choose from that are already in the building. So it might end up just being one of those scenarios. But nothing specific as of yet. I do the rounds. I do the rounds with the kids to make sure they get this loot on Halloween. Anytime they're like, oh, I don't like that kind of thing. I'm like, no, take it anyways. Wink, wink. I've got a good home for it. So I got to make sure that goes down. So yes, I will need a costume in effect. It's fun being able to go trick-or-treating again with my own kids, because we end up getting back and there's a solid percentage of their haul. It's just, they're just like, I don't like these. I don't like this. I don't like that one. I'm like, well, okay. Oh no. What will we do? What will we do? And then I eat that candy. And everything works out great. I bring it into my boat with me, and I eat it in my boat. Because it's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. Pretty good. I hope all of your boats are good. Hope you have a good boat. If it's not in the water, I hope it's properly stored. You don't want, raccoons taking up habitat in your boat when you're not using it, because then when you go to use it again, they're like, sorry, this is our boat now. Take that boat. You cannot have it back. Well, I mean, you can. You can get it back from a raccoon. Don't be discouraged. Even a whole family of them, you can do it. My name has been Footbags. My name is Footbags. My name will continue to be Footbags. And you have just witnessed Footbags Live from the Depths. This goes down every Sunday right here on this Cold Rhymes Twitch, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. where we roll through and we make noise and we say words. This week's words were "it's a pretty good boat." There was some other stuff before that too. I don't even remember what it was. Snakes were involved. Other things were said, but we ended up with "pretty good boat," so that's what's fresh in the dome piece. It's about to get real behind me on the wall here, so I'm gonna footbags off into the night and see how this plays out. Joke's on them, I've seen it before. But I hope everybody has a fantastic week. Come on back on Tuesday, witness Zinzerna Music Hour, and definitely come back on Thursday, the 20th October, for this Artemis album listening party. It's gonna be the best. I haven't heard the full album yet, and I am excited to hear it. I hope to see you guys there, because I will be there. And until then, keep the bees out of your roof. Properly maintain your boat. Keep it seaworthy. And I'm the hell out of here. See y'all next week. Peace.
It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat. It's a pretty good boat.